We're back for take 2 of Facebook Live with the lovely Amy Keller Laird of Women's Health Magazine. You guys are watching us on the other angle, but that's okay.
That's okay. You got an interesting view.
I know, exactly. That's the best part about Facebook and live, because live TV or video, you never know how it's going to turn out. Exactly. But as we were saying, I so appreciate the magazine because it really resonates with me as a real woman going through my own issues of family and work and health and wellness and how that embodies everybody. And it really helps me get through everything I have to do on a daily basis.
I mean, that's our goal. Like, we're an action-based magazine. Like, we want to give solutions.
Yes.
And we want to make life easier. Like, we want to make it easier for you to be healthier and more
love
fit.
This girl.
You know, like, because we know not everyone has a million minutes in their day to dedicate to that. But you know, we brought on Jennifer
as our very honored,
as an
excited
entrepreneurial expert for us, because a lot of our readers and a lot of studies and of people in the world now, people are starting their sort of second chapters or third chapters, and they've done one job for a while, and then they're like, you know what, this isn't really what I want to be doing. And how do you do that? And how do you do that financially?
Yep.
Because that has such an impact on your mental wellness too,
and your family,
on your family, and like being happy in your job and at work. So we try to touch on some of those those topics that you wouldn't immediately think entrepreneur health magazine. But when you really think about it,
I'm so glad you said that.
They make so much sense together.
It makes so much sense. And as soon as you said, like, come on, because it's so, if you don't have your health and your wellness and your mental being, you can't have a business. You can't thrive in an entrepreneurship kind of role and create companies and inspire other people within your organization. It's, you either have your health and your wellness or you don't. And you can't run a company that way. Yeah. So it resonated with me when you said, come on, let's do that. Said, all right, I'll do that for sure. So it's helpful for me. And I don't have a lot of time in my day to go out and be in the gym for like 2 or 3 hours a day. So I'm here in the park all the time. That's why we're here now.
Totally. And like the great thing is, like, study after study keeps coming out showing that, like, it's not like you have to be exercising for 2 hours.
Exactly.
You have to just be doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Are you doing high intensity intervals? And like you're saying, you're running up the stairs, or are you just maximizing in a certain way.
Yeah.
And like that's what we always have, our 15-minute workout. Like, we know people are busy. We just launched this DVD, all in 18, literally 18 minutes, all in 18. It's in English and Spanish. Our first Spanish-speaking DVD.
Fantastic.
So that's exciting. And
what's your favorite part about being part of this magazine?
I mean, I think the inspirational women we can feature. It's so amazing to see these women. We just did, so we have this franchise called Game Changers, which last year we launched, and we had women like Michelle Obama and Shonda Rhimes, and people who do sort of inspirational things for women in terms of healthcare, body positivity, wellness. So this year we did our first Reader Game Changer contest. And like these women, I mean, it can make you feel bad about yourself, because you're like, hey, what am I doing in the world? But no, but you get they're uber fit, but it's so beyond that. It's like they are creating companies that are bringing social change, and they're doing it. They're doing it in so many different ways, and we really do want to spotlight those people and bring more like real women into the mix.
So Women's Health Magazine, I'm such a big fan of that, because it's so great to see celebrities doing wonderful things and people in big roles, but to see small business owners or people that are just regular people around the country that are making huge impacts, that to me is amazing, because we live in this crazy city called New York City, and we see a lot of stuff, but when you travel outside of New York and you go to Auburn, Alabama, or anywhere else, and you see this passionate women doing incredible things for each other and for their businesses and for the sake of their community and the health of their community and the growth. It's beautiful.
And it's like, I mean, not to be like uber earnest about it, but yesterday,
but go ahead.
But I will. But like yesterday, I was on a cruise with the Men's Health guys. Actually, our brother pub.
Follow her on Instagram, by the way. Yes.
And they have a similar contest, like the Ultimate Men's Health guy. I was talking to one of the finalists, and on his submission, he was like, "Am I gonna he's a doctor, but he runs these he works at these camps for kids who've been burn victims and this and that, and he's saying, am I gonna like change everything about the world by what I'm doing? No, but I'm gonna like change someone else's life, and I'm gonna like do this small thing and like really get you misty-eyed there, because it's like if everyone does one thing.
And that resonates back to the whole health and wellness, because when you feel like you can impact someone else's life, whether it just be a phone call when someone's not feeling well, or bringing chicken soup, or just something small, it really impacts not only your own health and wellness, but I think that health and wellness of someone else, and it's really meaningful.
It's so interesting. We just ran this story that was like, if you give a gift, a $40 gift to someone else, it will decrease your blood pressure.
Isn't that
Your
crazy?
own, but it was like if you spend the money on yourself, it's like really amazing how you see like the effects of that. The physical effects of doing something emotional.
Sure.
So I think that's what's so great. Also that like we have people starting, like we want to start dialogues. You know, we did a whole big story on mental health. And
which was a beautiful.
Which you know, when I talked about my own OCD, and like we really, I think we just want to start conversations, and we don't want to be judgmental, and we just want people to have an outlet for thought. And a lot of the doctors we talked to said, you know, we have a big sexual assault story coming up in our October issue, and it's about the PTSD that women who've been sexually assaulted suffer, which can be much more severe and longer lasting than even combat veterans. But no one had been talking about like what happens 10 years later. You know, it's sort of like that conversation dies off. So we just want to like open the conversation and give people a forum to do that. And you know, also I was talking to you about the emergence of politics, which seems again like we're not a political magazine, and we don't want to be uber political, but there are a lot of things going on in this election that do affect women's health in particular, in terms of reproductive rights, the Affordable Care Act. So we've got a big sort of report in our September issue called What If, and it's like,
when does that issue come out?
That's out now.
See, it's out now.
Simpson on the cover, go grab it.
Great, by the way.
Yeah, she's great. And she's so real. You know, like she built her brand on like being a real human.
Well, I think most of the people you feature are these celebrities, but I love that they talk to you and they're so thankful that you put them on the cover and they're out there doing their own thing and they have their own businesses or their own lives and they're trying to also be an active part of their own communities. And they're real, so that's why.
Yeah, and she, like the great thing Jessica Simpson talked about was like she has been every size herself. Her weight has fluctuated, this and that has happened, and she's been shamed by the media and she's been shamed by, you know, people, and so she started her line, which now has like an athleisure line, you know, so that's kind of why we're featuring her. It's $1 billion business because she's like, hey, every size wants to wear the same cool clothes, and I'm gonna give it to you. I know how I can dress you because I've been there. So like that's what I loved about her.
Yeah, I think that's again, like you said, you're opening up the dialogue, which is so important for, you know, we all have our own things to go through, and health is so important. What is your favorite, like, do you have a favorite time of the year that you guys do certain stories, or what's your favorite part of the day-to-day there? That's two different questions, but I'm in trouble.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love our October issue because it is game changers, and we really can focus on these women who, not just celebrities, but again, real women, or people like this woman who is offering food service, not food services, like people who are homeless can learn how to become chefs. Like it's like that kind of thing, you know. So I love that, but I also, our Jan Feb issue is always really exciting because we've got our next fitness star who, you know, we have this contest and then she comes out with a video, and that's just the time of year that people really connect with us too, because they're like, okay, it's change, it's transformation, and so it's exciting to be like, how can we present that to people in a new way to make it fresh?
Absolutely.
You know, because you know, as an editor and as a writer, and you sometimes are like, here we go again with that same issue.
You look back on your notes and like, what, like, for me,
how do we cover
TV,
that?
like, did I cover that in 1998? Oh, I did. How do I refresh that?
What's the new spin? But then you like find the new spin, and you're like, oh. And so, like for me, I want us to be relevant, and I want us to like be able to pull from what's going on culturally. You know, even like so every year we have a packaged food story. I'm giving out all the secrets of the upcoming issue.
I know, you're gonna have to read it really fast.
Read it. But you know, we're you know, every year we have a packaged food story, and this year we're like, how can we do? I mean, you want to know what can I make a store that's like healthy but still like easy to package. So with all like the Marvel movies and superhero movies around, we're like, let's make them into superheroes. Like make these foods, like let's anthropomorphize the food. So just so, you know, there's like so many places people can go for information now. That like we have to provide something that's like an experience while you're reading it.
And you do that just through all of your channels. What is your Instagram handle for Women's Health? Is it at Women's Health for Instagram?
Women's Health Mag.
I should know that because I do I'm on every Friday on Instagram, so I do my entrepreneurial tidbits.
We have like a great social following. Like it's a big following, and
love to follow it.
I love it. I think it speaks to the fact that we try to offer, you know,
everything. I get some good food tips. I'm like, oh, I should cook that. I make my little list. I'm like, I need to pin that one, so I cook it later. But also the exercise tips and, you know, different things to read to make yourself feel like, okay, I'm in the game, I'm good, I'm okay. just that, again, I think it's a lot about the mental health and wellness.
Totally. And you know what resonates a lot on Instagram with us are inspirational quotes and like things that you like, the kind of stuff you were giving, and it's like, it's a simple thing, but like clearly people need some positivity in their lives. Like that's what
crazy?
It shows me.
Weird,
like
right?
Just want a little optimism.
I know, exactly. It's a simple thing.
Yeah.
It's a simple things. Do you guys advocate like exercise day in the office? Or do a lot of people? I know like a lot of beauty editors are always at exercise events and like programs and stuff. So
yes, we used to have workout Wednesdays in the office when we would all get together. With our ad side as well, and do these workouts where different people would come in from like 305 Fitness, or sometimes we would do our own workout videos together. It's hilarious because you're like next to your colleague, sweating, but like that's the way.
That's what you look like with your hair up and no makeup on.
But our ad side, even like that's what they do now sometimes with clients. Instead of just going to a meeting, they go work out together. Because it's become sort of the new social thing.
I'm so glad you say that, because that's why this whole Walk with Walsh, even though we're sitting here, being outside, really, it's fascinating. You're doing a lot of stories about this, lots of research about being outside and walking helps really with your mental capability of expanding your mind and just being a little bit more free with your thoughts and just
like being in nature. It's like unbelievable what can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here I'm getting like my quota.
She is the poor thing.
Nature.
I know you are. I know I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you've got a lot to do on a Thursday morning. So I so appreciate you being here. Is there anything else you want to tell everyone about the magazine besides Women's Health Mag is Instagram? What's your
same on Twitter?
Same on Twitter.
We're kind of Women's Health Mag everywhere, online too. And if you haven't picked up the magazine and you think it's only about abs or fitness, which it is. But there's a lot more than that.
And I love that you guys tap into, like we said in the Take One episode that we were trying to film, that you reach teenagers to everyone up to 80 years old.
It's a demographic. It's like a mindset. So you could be any age and really come away with something.
And if you guys have any questions, you can leave the comments. I will answer them later, or I'll ask Amy later today if she can answer something. We'll send them over to you. So we really appreciate you guys tuning in.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to pick up the magazine. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.